Hey, what's up guys, Metta Glyde here. Today we are going to attempt to make a full-length trance track in under 1 hour. In order to achieve such a feat, we will be using a couple of sample packs and Spire presets from our own Metta Glyde range found at magsignaturesound.com. The packs and presets are fully loaded with easy to use sounds that require minimal processing, so once dropped into the project they will fit together nicely and come alive. If you like what you see in here in this demonstration, then do head over to magsignaturesound.com, where you will find a ton of other production tools including sample and MIDI packs, templates, mixdown, mastering and tuition services from ourselves and other leading industry artists including Alex DiStefano, Asteroid, Alan Watts, Harshal Kamdar, Artena, Ryan K and Tom Exo. So without further ado, let's go. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to choose a MIDI from Trance Toolkit Volume 2 to dictate the tone and where we're going with the actual track. So I'm just going to select one at random. Let's just go with number 2. I've done, the only thing I've done in preparation is just loaded a load of audio tracks here on the right and a couple of presets, pads, leads and bass pad. I don't know what they're going to sound like when all together, but it's just to save a bit of time, just to save opening the Spire and going through the sounds. That's the only thing that I've done here in order to prepare the project. So let's just got this riff, main melody number 2 from Trance Toolkit Volume 2. Now I'm going to select a key. The good thing is if you're working in any key, F sharp, F, G, G sharp, you just move the bass notes until you hit the required key. So let's go with G sharp, this one here. So this is our riff. Let's have a quick listen to that. Okay, perfect. So that's dictating and setting the kind of tone of the track. So we've selected number 2, and we're going to go with G sharp. So let's stay with our Trance Toolkit Volume 2, and let's go to the kicks. And we're going to spend less time auditioning and more time kind of putting together the track. And actually, before we select the kick, we're going to just do a little bit of structuring. So really quickly, this is where our sub bass will come in, for example, and then we'll probably have a kind of a small break here. I'd say probably let's go with kind of around 8 bars, then a small drop there. This will all make sense as we go along. Then we'll hit the kind of breakdown here. And then we'll keep that breakdown quite short, maybe 32 bars, and we'll have a sort of a drop here, and we'll keep that drop quite short, maybe then another pause and the main drop, and then we'll kind of hit the kind of outro. So I'm really quickly just going to name these. Let's go with the sub here, mini break here, we'll go with the first drop here, and we'll go for the breakdown, and we'll go with a main drop here. Then we'll come back into a kind of maybe a small breakdown, and then we'll go with another main drop to there into the outro. Now this is all very rough. I'm just mentally kind of preparing. It could change as we go. But that will do us for now. So the first thing we'll do is we'll go and get a kick drum. As I said, we're in G sharp. So that sounds good to me. So we're just going to drop it in, and as I mentioned, everything is nicely processed and good to go. So they'll require very minimal processing, so very easy to use. And all these samples that we're using are recorded at 140 BPM, which is going to be the BPM of our project there in the top left corner. very easy to use, very easy to manipulate, and as I say, it's going to be minimal processing. So we've got our kick in. Let's just turn the leads off there, and then we'll just come back to the start. There's our kick. We'll just come over to have a check of the peak volume. We're going to set the kick at minus 15 peak volume there, and then mix everything below that. So we've got our kick. So let's now start thinking about let's go with some basses. So over here I've got the bass pack that's also available on Mag Signature Sound, and these are basses that have been taken from various different tracks that we've done over the years that have been quite successful. So we've given you access to the mid basses and the sub bass. So we're looking for a sub bass. Let's just stick with the Shimmering, one of our tracks released a couple of years ago. So we're in G sharp, so let's get that into the project. It's our sub bass. In fact, we'll use Span, Voxengo Span. It's a free tool, just to gauge where our kind of kick level is at, and then also just check that our sub is nicely below it, which it is actually. So it's quite nicely balanced straight away. So that's sounding good. Again, minimal processing. We will just remove the sub from the mini break there. In fact, let's color code these a little, just so they're not all green, so we can kind of differentiate when looking at them. There and there. Now we've got the sub, let's bring in the mid bass, and we will just give this a different color as well. And in fact, we'll use two mid basses. Why not? Let's use a couple just for layers. Let's go back into Trance Toolkit 2, Volume 2, and let's just go to the mid bass loops there. Okay, that one's fine. Let's build this up so it kind of evolves. Let's group them. So that's now our mid bass. Maybe a little loud. Okay, it's a bit more like it. Okay, so that's through there. So that's our mid basses. Now we're going to go on to percussions. We're going to start making our kind of percussion bus, a percussion group. Everything in Trance Toolkit Volume 2 is kind of key labeled, so nice and easy to use. Nice and easy to just identify the key, and you can just drop in and know that we're in a good place. So that's sounding quite nice to me. Nice groove there. I wonder if we could add anything else. Let's have a look at some percussion hit loops here. Let's just drop one in. Just check that we're warping to 140 BPM. Everything. Again, that's sounding quite interesting, so we'll bring that in a little bit later. And just again, we'll just kind of duplicate all the way through the intro, and then we'll see how it kind of evolves to take things in and out. That's nice. And then we're going to go for let's see, some hats. That sounds good to me. Let's listen to this in a second. Okay, and that one's kind of got a nice shaker quality to it, so let's build it up as we go through. Remove it for our mini break. Ride here, so let's bring that ride in here. There. Okay, so these are going to be our kind of hats, and these are grooves. finish it all up. And why don't we just bring in both of our claps there into the mix. Okay, so let's just let's give these some names so we know what we're looking at. Sub bass, mid bass, grooves, and we've got hat, clap, and and actually that was the right there, wasn't there? So let's just get these roughly balanced. Obviously we're going to be super quick. Right, so clap, here we go. Both those claps working together quite nicely. Separate. Just do a little bit of panning. Just to stop everything being in the center. Super quick, so not much time for detail. All right, let's go on to the crashes. Let's get some crash cymbals in, put them across, just check that they're all nicely warped. Yes, they are. Okay, great. And we'll go for a reverse cymbal as well. Let's just check how that's in. Just again, just check how that's warped. Just everything you drop in, just check that it is maybe BPM is going to fit the project. So we could probably just go over there. Okay, now we've got crash. So go for cymbals. There. Make it a different color so we know what we're looking at. Okay, great. Now, okay, about 10 minutes in, so we've got to pick up the pace. So we're going to go with some effects, I think, next. So we'll go with some sweep down, G sharp, stay there. Right, so we'll go with a couple of these. We'll use a couple of different ones. Again, just checking the warp there. There we go. Yeah, that one's good. And then we'll just simply go across and maybe use a different one for our kind of breakdowns there, just so we've got the variety. So okay, that's going to be our effects group, and we'll just call that effects. Maybe some sweeps up, I suppose, would be quite nice. Let's just see what we've got here. Got quite a tonal riser there. Let's just bring that in there, and once we've got all of these things together, we're going to use them throughout the track. These are all really nice to add lots of tension. And again, we can use them just for that variety. This one was quite nice, I think. That'd be good for our little mini break. I think that's more than enough. So let's just think about our placement. Okay, so we've got our main drops, so that's going to be here. And then we've got another small breakdown there, and then our main drop there. So that's just signposting the way forward for the rest of the structure. Again, it might change, but let's just see how we get on with this. Okay, and then we'll probably end the track around here. So that's what we're going to aim for. Let's see how we do with that. So back to our elements that we've already got in. Let's get that kick over there. In fact, we might have a little outro pause there. We could maybe bring in an acid. Let's think about that. Let's go with an acid, something just to take us through to the outro. And then just move that along a touch there. So we've got acid, yeah. Okay. Slight little rejig here. Oh, no, didn't do that. Here we go. There. There. Right, so then our acid, that could actually be this sweep. Keeping things nice and orderly. Okay, we're about 15 minutes, so doing okay, I think. We'll find out. Okay, that's where we're going to want everything to really pay off there. I think this needs to be, just check where that. Yeah, that's good there. They all look in good shape. Maybe an extra one there. Okay, that's looking good. Hopefully this is all going to come together. So we've got our sweeps in place. We could probably do with another one before our breakdown. So maybe that one there before our main drop. Back to the breakdown. This one there, and then we'll keep using these ones, I think. Here, 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 and here. Okay, that looks okay so far. So we'll trust that for now. Let's get our crashes and reverses in the track. These are probably going to be all the way through, so we'll just duplicate through and take things in and out as we need. Now our sub basses and mid basses will need to move with the melody, so we will certainly get to that, but they can certainly be placed in the outro for now in their G sharp. There we go. And of course we'll need our percussion to carry through as well. We'll leave the percussive hits, give the drops a bit of space, and maybe bring them back in the outro. Okay, that looks good. Bring those through. Give a break for the acids. Little mini sort of drop there. Percussion back, then let that fall away before we build up to another drop there, then another mini break, and then the outro. And then we'll just remove the layers. just like the intro. We build up in the intro and we can take away in the outro. Right, so that's good. Obviously we'll listen to this and we'll see where we are. Okay, so let's just get some more elements into the track. Let's go with a kind of a kick effect, so kind of an impact. And we can bring that into all of our the kind of areas that we need that impact there. So let's think where all the moments that we need that should be good. Let's just bring that up towards the kick so we know where that is. In fact, yeah, you can see we need to remove the kick there. So that's good. That's taking shape. Right. Put a crash there. And I'm wondering if maybe we could probably have another kick here. Make it really build it up like that. Again, no idea how that's going to sound, but you never know. This might work out. Let's see. Right, so that's our impact in. Now what else could we put in that we don't have already? We've got snare rolls. So I'm not going to spend too much time because we don't have it for the auditioning stage. So let's just see what that one sounds like there. A bit empty at the moment, of course. We don't have anything else in there. Okay, not bad. Okay, let's try another snare roll. What's this one like? This one's a bit longer. Let's duplicate that. And we'll use this one before our main drop, and get another one here. See if we can layer them up, see what that sounds like. Get that BPM right. And maybe this one we'll use the fades just to fade that in. Like so. We'll use this one as our smaller one throughout the track. There it is. Yep. That should work okay. So let's group them and we'll call snares. And I wonder if we could use a couple of fills as well. Let's see if we can fit those in somewhere. Got a couple to use, so let's drop one in here and one in here. Now where could they most likely work? Yeah, probably one there. Let's put one there. One there. Let's just close those down so we can see what we're doing a bit more. Okay, so what have we got? We could probably use another one here. Probably this one over here. Just to make this area interesting. let's say there. And wherever we put these fills, let's bring the kick out as well. So yeah, 16 bars long. We'll just start to make some little adjustments with the kick, little gaps. Just to help create a little bit more tension as we go. Yep. And maybe sustain one before we hit the acid there. Okay. Again, no idea what this is going to sound like, but we can obviously do this on the fly. So that seems to be a lot of things that we've got in there in terms of the backbone of the track. So now let's start thinking about the, in fact, let's do the bass. That could be quite time consuming. So let's have a check of our bass progression and what we have to do. So you can see here we start on the G sharp there, then we go down to E. So let's go back to our shimmering sub bass, and so you can see we've got to go G sharp and then we go to E. So it would be G sharp here to E, F sharp, E, and then B. Quickly listen to that. Oh, watch, that's actually a mid bass, so it's up the top there, isn't it? There it is. Okay, so that sounds good. We know that works. So we're also using the shimmering mid bass. So we're going to get the same thing here. A and then B. Again, I've done it again. These things happen when you're on under the pressure. So we've got G sharp here, and then here we go. There. F sharp. And then E. And then B. So hopefully they're all going to work together. And then what we're going to do is the same for the second mid bass. Here. F sharp. And then E. And then B. Right, let's listen to all of those together, and then hopefully that's taken care of our bass. And then, well, I'm thinking that we'll use a different sub bass pattern actually for the first drop, just to keep things interesting. So building that interesting structure that will help captivate the listener. So let's just check that sub bass with everything else, and then we can move on. Okay, so halfway, let's get this in, and as I said to you that's going to be our different sub bass. This is going to be our regular sub bass. There. Okay, and then we had our two mid basses, the shimmering and number 2 from Toolkit 2. Get them in there, like so. Right, so now we're halfway, so we're up against it. We've really got to bring this together now with some extra atmospheres and bits and pieces. Right, so let's make a few more audio tracks. Right, so now we're going to go and let's start the top. So we'll get some energy stabs. So let's go, they're all in C, so we can just have to pitch them down to G sharp. So let's just pick a couple and drop them in. Just check that our warp is correct. Let's go with 6 and 2, that one warp's fine. And then we'll just have a listen to how they sound. See, okay, this is where we need to make sure that we get it in the right key. So go down 4 to G sharp. So now if we listen, that should be much better. We're slightly off there, aren't we? Group them up. Acids. Right, next we'll go to the acid loops. And let's just go with okay, that one sounds nice. Let's just get that in. We're nicely warped. Maybe we could pop it in the outro as well. Again, we'll refine this. And let's get another one. That one is quite low and growly. So let's see if we can find one maybe that's a bit higher. Oh, perfect. So that one's got a much higher kind of texture to it. So let's bring that in as well. Again, we can refine all of this. Right, so let's have a listen. Okay, already providing a lot. Atmospheres, let's see what we can find. There's plenty to use here, so I think what we'll do is we'll make a really big atmosphere group, and just because we're really running out of time, we can keep them green. And let's bring them all in, all the G sharps in. And let's think about where, and we're just going to place them around the project and make them fit throughout. Lots of variety, not keep them all in the same place, of course. So we'll just do a nice addition. So this could be nice in the mini break, for example. This one could be nice here. One could be nice before the sub drop. That one could be nice when the breakdown hits. Again, that one for the acid maybe. Get that one at the end. Got some nice sweeps they look like there, so we'll place these throughout the track. Again, we would spend a lot more time listening, but we're up against it, so we're just gonna keep going. Some nice textures, so we'll try them in those places. I realise these aren't in the group, but we'll put them in a second. Okay, I like that one. That one can definitely be used frequently. I think that one's gonna be quite nice. We just have this in all of a lot of the track. And you know, let's just have a quick... Okay, let's try that. What I've done is I've just bought one from A in the toolkit, and then of course we just need to put that down to G sharp to fit, and then we're going to try it in the breakdown as a kind of maybe a vocal atmosphere, but we'll just leave it out of the group and maybe we can have it a bit louder. But let's get all of these in the group, and there we are. Right, let's get a kind of, let's get a tech loop. Let's see what that's going to be like. Something for that sub drop, maybe just something to just take us through there. Like this. And then of course something for our outro, something pretty powerful. So we're going to get those volumes right. We'll bring them out. A bit darker. Okay. So, elements wise, I think that might just be enough. Maybe we'll see. Let's get some a few extra. We'll get some pluck kind of pluck runners in there. These are just going to provide that kind of backing to the track, which hopefully you'll be able to hear when we get to the that's our, let's go here. Let's try and find one that just sits in the background. Yeah. The great thing about all of these is that they usually work. You just kind of just drag, drop, and they're good to kind of go. So there we go. And for the next one, let's actually go to the toolkit one. I know there's some nice chord drivers in there, so we're in minor, so that's okay, that's fine. That could potentially be our kind of main instrument in our first mini drop, and then we're going to go into there, right? So where we are. Yeah, like that. I think we might need a just a snare just to take us into our first mini drop. Right, let's get on to the melody then. So we chose number 2, didn't we? Which melody number 2 from our MIDI in the Toolkit Volume 2. Let's see, we are here. So first thing we'll do is get the we'll clean all this up and play through. We will get the sub pad and we'll just drop that in, as I said, where we were earlier, and we'll just hold the sub note for the mini break, like so, and for the second small breakdown, and maybe even for our acid there. Then we've got our pads. I've just thrown in a couple there. That's, again, no idea how they'll sound, but let's go with pad number 2. And I'll tell you what we need to do is bring that all down to G sharp, if you remember. There we go. And do the same with our pads. There we go. Right, so if we were to hit our breakdown here, let's have a quick listen. Up. Very minor processing, really nothing at all. Would be a lot more detailed, of course, but we don't have the time, so that's literally an EQ8 and a kickstart just to give it the side check. Okay, sounds good. Bring that down a bit. Let it really evolve. Right, get on to the leads then. We've got about 15 minutes left to make an hour, so we really need to get onto that. We already got this down into G sharp, didn't we? So that's good. Let's just bring up the filter cutoffs and see if we can piece these all together. See how we get on. No idea how it's going to sound, but let's give it a good go. So first thing we need is our breakdown, main drop there, and for this one we're going to hold the notes like so, and let's see if we can gently bring up the cut-offs in the breakdown till we hit that kind of crescendo moment. Oops. Okay. Right, let's check the cut-offs actually while we're here. Okay, that one starts quite nicely. That one's sort of, can't really hear it better there. Okay, not too bad. Great. Okay, nice. That's fine. Yeah. Okay, so you can hear that one probably just probably needs to come up an octave just to give it something a bit different, a bit more exciting. Maybe even that one too, low. Okay, kickstart again, very just like the pads, the same, but we'll give it just give it that for something a bit of groove, and then just automate that groove to hit the key points. Okay, a couple more minutes and we'll go for a play and see where we are in terms of the balance. A lot to balance, but we'll do our best. We will do our best. There was something nice in the atmospheres, wasn't there, that we kind of like a I wonder if that could come back in and turn it up like so, and delete them, and then maybe we can get that. It's quite nice in the background just for the outro, wasn't it? Okay. Put that in the in a couple of places there. So let's see how that kind of sounds. Okay, quiet at the moment, that's fine. I'm going to balance that in a minute. Right. So that's all the sounds in. So what we're going to do is we're going to spend 5 minutes just quickly looking at everything, checking everything's in place, and then we'll go for a play through a little and then see where we are by the time we hit the end of the track. So we've got our sub basses. Okay, not too bad so far. Let's try and get a volume of how loud our effects buses, maybe a bit loud. We'll try it there. And our snares. Not too bad. And we've got our acids. Okay, then we've got our outro acid. Let's just see what that sounds like. Okay, yeah, you want that quite up in your face as such. And we've got our kind of atmospheres. Very loud. Put it about there and we'll see how that sounds. And we've got our kind of vocal atmosphere. Try it there. And we've got our plucks. That one's sort of more of the background, isn't it? And then this 61, this one was really the main one for the intro. Play our leads. Needs to be quite up there. Again, we'll look at that just as we do it, because we really are out of time in a minute. Pads. We'll go about there. And then maybe for the we'll put them up to second drop just to give it a bit more energy, hopefully. And then we'll just check with our sub pad. We're not kind of louder than the kick. And that seems about right to me. So as it stands, we can go for a playthrough and then hit finish, and hopefully we're under an hour. Here we go. We're going to balance as we go. Okay, there you go, guys. We have produced a trance track in under 1 hour and sounding pretty good actually. So everything on that magsignaturesound.com is easy to use, good to go out of the box, and will help you achieve your goals, targets and dreams as easy as that, hopefully. See you soon.